Hi guys, it's Susan from Second Act. How are you? Hope everyone is doing well. I am here for my week 22 update. I had VSG surgery on September 27th, 2016 with Dr. Mark Zare in San Jose, California at Good Samaritan Hospital. My height weight was 240, my surgery date weight was 225, and my current weight today is 189. Wah, wah, wah. That is a 1 pound gain from last week. That is so disappointing to me. Now, what caused that 1 pound weight gain? I don't know. I really don't know. I wasn't bad this week at all. So I'm just disappointed. Now, I will say this, 5 months plus into this, I will say that I think I have gotten a little more lax about the routine of, staying on track. I know that I'm not logging my food in as well as I was before. I certainly know that I'm not drinking my water like I should be. That is something I definitely have to get back on track with. So, you know, it might just be that you start to get to that point where you get to a comfort level where you don't think you need to stay on top of it as much anymore, but you do. And this may be a result of that. I have another theory as well, which I'll get into shortly, but I definitely, that's going to be a goal of mine, is to get back on track and get myself, rein it in, get a little tighter, and, really keep an eye on that because at this point, as you guys all know, I was so excited to get into the 180s, and the main reason for that is because now I can see the 170s in the horizon, and getting into the 170s was my first goal, and I'm not willing to let that go or lose grasp of that at this time. So I have got to kick myself in the tush and get back on track because I'm not gonna let myself get lax enough where I'm not going to be losing weight. I mean, my gosh, this process has been slow enough for me, only losing a pound a week. But let me say this: at this point, I would rather be losing 1 pound a week, and I never had an issue with losing 1 pound a week as long as the scale was going down. But having the scale go back up is not an issue. No, 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 no. So that is something that I'm going to be really keeping my eye on. Now, I said I had another theory. I actually have two. The other thing is that I did exercise this week with weights, and I did some elliptical machine and some things like that. And I know that people say, oh, when you start lifting weights, you gain muscle. Well, I don't think I gained enough muscle with the little exercise I did this week for it to be a reason why I gained a pound. But that was one thing. I think more importantly, most of you know I'm 55 years old. I'm going to be 56 in 2 weeks. So I'm much older than a lot of you out there. And this may be a point where if any men watch this, which I don't know if you do, or the young girls, it may not be something you're interested in. But, for me, I think going through menopause has been a big factor for me in this process. I think it's partially why I've been losing, so slow compared to other people. And what's funny about menopause is that it's a very long process. And for the women my age, you probably know this, but they say that menopause can be up to a 10-year process. And, now looking back in hindsight, I can kind of see when it starts. It sort of starts in your late 40s. And for myself, I can only speak for myself. I think it kind of began when I found myself getting irritated with a lot of things. I'd be standing in a grocery line and I would just be irritated with somebody standing in front of me and the poor person wasn't doing anything, but it was just this irritation factor. And then, one thing leads to another. And so it's a very slow process and you don't really realize what's happening at the time. But then, it starts to get to the part where your menstrual cycles are affected and, the flow of everything is different. And then it gets to the point where you skip a couple of them. And that's where I've been in this past year, my menstrual cycle, and I'm very late. Most people usually are done by, 50, 51, 52. So I'm very late in this process. But, so I think probably for about 4 months now, I have not had a menstrual cycle. But the funny thing is that your body still wants to go through that process. And so I can still feel like the tenderness in the breast. I can still feel a little bit of the bloating. And, I still break out a little bit. And I had noticed this past week that I was breaking out, that I was feeling a little tenderness. So I don't know if that's a part of the reason for the gain, because I certainly don't feel like I ate that bad, And when I say that bad, I really, again, I'm not eating the sugars. I have not broken down and done that yet. And I know that on Instagram, I put a post up about, going out to dinner with friends one night, but I ate really well. I didn't drink anything. I had water to drink, and I had, it was a Chinese chicken salad, so the dressing was probably not the best, but really all I ate off of the Chinese chicken salad was mostly the chicken. I couldn't even eat. I was stuffed after just picking out the chicken bits out of it. So I don't feel that I've really eaten that bad. I have, I think, maybe been eating a little bit more than I have in the past. So I think it's maybe a combination of all of that. But whatever it is, I'm really going to try to write it down and document it and get it back on track. I have been finding myself eating um, a lot of smaller meals, or my 3 meals and then snacking. And I know that there's controversy. I hear some people say you're only supposed to have 3 meals a day, and then I hear other people saying no, eat 5 or 6 small meals. And again, with everything, I just think everything is a balance and you need to figure it out for yourself, because maybe the 3 meals works better for some people. Maybe the 5 meals work better for others. So I think it's a matter of just figuring out what works best for yourself. But I think for myself, because I do know that I've been eating a little bit more or snacking, I think I may try cutting back on that. Maybe I'm going to see if I can stick to the 3 meals, or if I do snack, making them very, very small, or maybe just, making that a couple sips of a protein drink or something for those 2 extra meals. But I really need to rein that back in, because I am just too close to the 170s to let this slip away at this point. And like I said, I've been fine with my journey, only losing the 1 pound, but I am not going to let the scale go up. That is not an option for me. And it's frustrating enough that it did go up this week. Because I was, again, I'm a daily weigher. I was at 188. I never did hit 187 this week. So I did not lose a pound this week, but I was at 188 for most of the week. And so going up to 189 today was really frustrating. So that's why I do think that there are a few other little factors there. And, I think I was 188 yesterday, so I was really hoping that I would finally get to 187 today, and the scale just went the opposite direction. So that is my challenge for this week, is getting that back under control and figuring out what it is I need to do so that I lose some weight. So I was hoping that I would at least be at 187, which would make me 186 next week. So I'm going to shoot for 186 to see if I can get to 186 by next week. Another reason too is that I know I'm going to be at a new BMI if I hit 185. So that I'm keeping my eye on that as well, because if I can reach 185, my BMI will switch to the overweight category. I won't even be obese anymore. So that is kind of a really fun NSV. So I'm keeping my eye on that too. So I'm going to use that as my motivation for this week, is to get myself so I know that I can get into the overweight category for my BMI and move forward from there. Um, one of the other things that I'm going to do is exercise. I don't know. I live in Northern California in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I don't know if you guys have heard on the news, but we have had torrential rains here, and we have had flooding in this area like I've never ever seen before, and I've been here for 40 years. So it's just the craziest thing. Luckily, it has not affected my exact city or areas that I commute to, but but very close to here, there were people, in their kayaks swimming around and cars that were underwater. It was just crazy. But the sun has finally come out. It's such a beautiful day out. And so I am really going to make it a point to get out there and walk around. I took my dog for a walk this weekend. And that it just felt so good to get out in the neighborhood. And I think I'm, either going to get out on my bike or get out and walk around the neighborhood, and really just try to burn some calories. So I'm really going to make that a point too, is to get on that exercise and just be outside in the fresh air, where it's just a spirit lifter as well. So I'm going to do that. The other thing, and I mentioned this on Instagram, but I watched Aubrey in Wonderland's goal video that she made for herself. Now, I don't know if you guys follow Aubrey in Wonderland, and she spells it in the traditional way, Wonderland, not with the O, but with the W. So check her out. She is at goal, but she made a goal video for herself, and I found it so moving. I wish that I had made a goal video for myself when I first started, but I didn't. But I'm going to make one now. I might make it right after I do this. Because, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, maybe for some of you newer people out there, a goal video would be something that you would make for yourself at the beginning of your journey. So basically, you're talking to yourself and you're explaining, and this is my theory on it, you're explaining to yourself why you're on this journey and where you want to go, what you want for yourself, where you see yourself, and why you never ever want to go back to the point where you're at. And Aubrey in Wonderland's video was so emotionally heart-wrenching. And maybe it was just for me, because maybe there was something in me that totally related to what she was speaking to. But, she basically was talking about how her family wanted to go sledding, and, how, um, you know, she just felt like she was missing out on family activities, and how she never really wanted to do that again. And I can't even explain it to you. Really, I would really highly suggest you guys watch it. And I really highly suggest that you make a goal video for yourself. I think no matter what point you're at in this journey, because you can always remake one. But if you're at the beginning of your journey, go for it. Do it now so you have it. If you're in the middle of your journey like I am now, make one, because I wish I had one today, for this day where I've gained a pound and, it's a little discouraging. I wish I had a video where I could go back and see myself at my very heaviest and hear myself saying to me now, "You got this, girl. Do it." Look at where you were when you started this journey And don't get discouraged, because look how far you've already come, and you still have more to go, and you can do it. So, I'm kind of motivating myself right now as I'm saying that. So I am going to make myself a goal video. But, that's what you need to remember, because what happens is, as you go through this journey, you start to gain confidence in yourself. You feel good, you feel strong, and you kind of forget where you came from. You kind of forget what you look like. And you're kind of sucked into where you're at now and how good you feel. And you need that reminder every once in a while about where you came from. Like, we all need to stay grounded. And that's what I need to remind myself of. I need to go back to that point where I really was, discouraged, upset, mad at myself because I always wanted to get going on the program and never did. And now I've done it, and I'm in the process, and I cannot let myself get discouraged. I need to move forward and march on, because this too shall pass, and I will lose weight. So just because I've gained 1 pound, it's not the end of the journey by any means. God, put on those big girl pants and move forward. That's what I'm going to do. So, anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I really do hope you go see Aubrey and Wonderland's goal video. I haven't watched any others. I don't think I've seen them. And maybe it's just because maybe not everybody shares their goal video. But, I think really you're only supposed to air it after you've reached your goal. But I was happy she shared hers, though, because I found it extremely motivating. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because it was something that really moved me and was motivating to me, and I can use it today. And had I had a video for myself, I could be watching my own video too, that would probably inspire me, especially if I was looking at myself the way I looked before. So I have another before picture that I might post on Instagram a little later today, as motivation for myself as well. But that's why I want to thank you guys in the community, because it is so amazing to have you guys out there, because you all get it. We all started at the same place mentally, in one way or another. We all look different, we all are different weights, but I think mentally we kind of all start off in the same place. So, thank you for your support. I'm someone who always tries to keep a positive outlook, and, I will continue to do so. But I do appreciate having this outlet and knowing that I can reach out to you guys and, receive that little push that I need emotionally to move forward. So thanks, you guys. Thanks for my new subscribers. And I just want to wish everybody a great week. And hopefully I'll see you back here next week with a weight loss. That would be really great. I'm going to say I will see you next week with a weight loss. All right. Love you guys. Bye.